following is a presentation of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Student-led, student-centered, student-serving.
Welcome into the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I'm Carly Evans alongside my color announcer, Ian MacHendre. Ian, what are your expectations for this game? What's your thought process? Walk us through this.
I mean, it's a rivalry game in Erie. Or Mead, sorry. I don't know why I said
We
Erie.
were thinking of both rivals there.
Yeah, I mean, similar school. They look the exact same.
They do.
We're here in Mead. A rivalry night. You know, there's a decent amount of people here. A lot of Mead fans.
Lots and lots. Not many Frederick fans I see on the opposing side. Yep.
I mean, this should be a good game. Both teams. Frederick coming off their win at home. Little 5-1 win.
A
Mead
pretty
right now.
solid win, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, looking at the statistics, Phillips, I think, scored 4 goals that game.
I think she did.
I saw that and I was like, that was like pretty much the total score of the last game for JV. We were watching them play the JV game against Mead, and they ended up losing that game, unfortunately. But
yeah, they could
hopefully,
not. They could not pull it
Varsity's
out.
a little different here.
Yeah, I looked down 1 second. It's 1-0. Look up, and
And
now
then it
it's
was
4-0.
and I was like,
whoa.
all right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see up here, but you know.
We will try our best.
As
I will have to probably squint my eyes, get a pair of binoculars to see some of these yellow
numbers.
numbers.
It's a little interesting jersey match.
So we will do our best.
Indeed. But I mean, looking at Frederick from their last game, 5-1 win. You know, they should be coming in with some momentum.
They definitely should. Mead hasn't played a game this season so far, so we'll see. This will be their starting game for their season.
Home opener too.
Yep, I know. That just makes it that much more competitive too. I mean, you think about it. They have home field advantage, I would say, but we'll see what they do with that.
I mean, we watched. I was on call, or I was on sideline for when we played Mead at our home, the boys game. Yeah, well, that game was not a great game. I think we got 8-1 or something.
Ooh,
was not fun.
Yeah, we got hammered. Okay.
So, you know, it's a chance for us to get our revenge back here.
Yeah, the revenge game.
As, you know, just about a minute 20-ish.
Yep, in a few minutes we shall start. I think we're going to get an interview in here before
Hopefully.
we jump to some keys. So stay tuned for that.
Little Jackson Gibbs on the sideline. Staying on the air.
As I mentioned, their warm-up songs are actually not too bad. I was listening to most of them. They're not too bad. Frederick has some good hype playlists though. So I think we've got that edge over them.
I think so too. I mean, we just got that edge, you know.
I was about to say, if we're talking the slight edge, we've got the sharper blade with that, as we are going to pop down to Jackson Gibbs on the sideline.
Excited to be here. Hopefully be able to come in here and Mead and just beat them and just keep rolling down the season with W's. Thank you. Sending it back up to you, Ian and Carly.
Thank you for that, Jackson, as we are just about ready to begin this game.
Home of the Mavericks. The Mavericks would like to welcome the visiting Frederick Golden Eagles to tonight's non-conference season home opener. A reminder to all those in attendance tonight, all games, including this contest, teach the lifetime value of respect. There are few better places than athletic competition to demonstrate respect for others.
That respect applies to opponents, coaches, officials, and classmates. With your demonstration of respect for these student athletes, and for all those in attendance this evening, you demonstrate that the most important part of high school competition is the people involved and not the game or its result alone. Failure to adhere to these expectations and those of the NCAC, chsaa,
A little bit of a forewarning just before we start this game.
or attendee. Once again, welcome to Mead High School and enjoy tonight's matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise and kindly remove your hats.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Currently serve
Yeah.
all Americans to the
As
playing of our national anthem.
Perfect. And Ian, you want to jump into the keys that you have for this game, this rivalry matchup, as we are hyped.
Absolutely. For my first key, I have lockdown defense. You know, last time we played Mead, I think it was in Frederick, we got 4-0'd. And, you know, I don't think they're going to want to repeat that again this
no,
year.
they won't. They're going to, as you put it, the revenge game.
So you gotta stay focused, locked down on defense. Next, keep the pressure on. You know, got to keep the attacking opportunities. You know, don't allow Mead to get any chances for themselves. If you can just, you know, apply the pressure like they did in that last game, 5-1 win, not let Mead get any chances to score, you're gonna be golden. And
Golden
last
Eagle
one,
even.
I guess so, yeah. Last one, double up on the attack. Basically just saying get more people down the field when you're about to attack. This is one of those games where if you can score a bunch of goals, you might as well try to do so.
Yep.
So, yeah, definitely.
Couldn't have said it better. Score a lot of goals, win the game, defeat the rival pretty much.
Exactly. Just keep putting pressure on him and, you know, get more players down the field and get some scoring opportunities and hopefully come out with the win tonight.
As I do give a little bit of an apology in advance, as Ian mentioned earlier, these numbers are hard to read, so if we butcher one of them or
Can't quite
misread it,
see them.
yeah. But we will do our best. As I said, might have to order a pair of binoculars, but
Wouldn't be a bad idea, just saying. But definitely would. It's definitely gonna be difficult, even at home.
I
It was
know.
hard to read them, but
Number 11, sophomore, Ava Rojas. Number 14, freshman, Brianna Cohen. And now the starters for your Mavericks. Wearing 00, senior, Bella Wright. Number 7,
as we just get through these player introductions,
looking
get to meet
at
the teams.
oh man, looking at Mead's roster, most of their team consists of freshmen, a few sophomores sprinkled in there, but they really have like a kind of a diverse team. Only a few seniors, so they're really not losing much this season. Obviously, probably some star players senior-wise, but
I mean,
lots of freshmen and sophomores, so
Yeah,
a pretty young team.
you flip it to the Frederick side, and you know we've got, I think, 6 or 7 seniors.
So
on
our
this
team
roster.
mainly consists of some older
older presence.
players. Yeah,
older veteran presence.
they've got the rookies, we've got the veterans, and now just we'll see who can get the edge.
Put them in a clash of battles and see who comes out on top.
Exactly.
But you know, Frederick does have some younger players out here on the field. They can definitely, you know, utilize those players with their speed, their athleticism that they have. It's gonna be one of those games where, you know, one
I
goal
think it'll be a
might-
lot of back and forth, honestly.
Exactly.
A lot of ping pong action going on.
It's definitely gonna be one goal could put some momentum on the team's shoulders. So Frederick would like to, jump out early here, especially on the road in Mead in this game.
I would like to mention, although we are not broadcasting it, the baseball game is going on at the moment, and not sure who's
Score over
winning
there.
that one. I think it's still 0-0 over there, but
You were there Saturday.
I was there Saturday. I was on the call with Griffin Baldwin. We lost miserably, unfortunately, as an opener. Lost 12-1, I think. So it was kind of a beating. Fifth inning just killed Frederick, but hopefully they step up next game.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it like with all the sports, I think Mead has us in soccer.
I think so.
In one of the soccers. I think they have us in boys basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because we have them in girls basketball. Football. I don't know, it's a pretty even matchup.
It is even.
It's definitely one of those rivalries.
Sport-wise, there, yeah, I was about to say, just sort of emphasizes that rivalry aspect. As we are just, actually, I was going to say moments, but
Getting going. Looks like
moments was correct, as looks like they're replanting the ball.
I don't think you can.
And we are off a deep kick already down the field, as that
Is gonna roll all the way.
roll out of bounds, and
Should be a goal kick for Frederick. It indeed will. Seems as Mead is trying to apply some pressure early on here in the first minute. Try to force Frederick back in their own territory.
as once again they're doing a good job with utilizing those deep kicks. As sort of a scuffle along the sideline, Mead regains possession of the ball. Mead, good teamwork.
Mead right now, they're finding.
Finds Boatman. I actually personally know Brooke Boatman. I went to school with her, so cool to see her playing varsity.
Out there on the field. But I was gonna say, Frederick, Mead right now, they're trying to work the ball outside and try to get Frederick to open up that center so that, they can ultimately get across it into the box and try to go up 1-0 here early.
Agreed, as
That should be a
Baruman got a little bit of a,
handball, I believe.
yeah.
Can't quite do that.
And once again being sent down, a little bit of a headbutt, and that'll just soar on right out of bounds.
That must not have felt great.
No, probably not. Sort of a hard knock to the head.
That ball was coming in pretty quickly, too.
Mead sort of conventioning on the side.
They're going to say
And
Frederick ball?
yeah, a little bit of confusion, looks like, with
Who gets the ball?
as once again I apologize for the lack of us being able to read the numbers, but Adler at the moment has it. Sends it
Nice
deep,
ball
soaring
down
down to Williams. Williams trying to catch up to it. Finally catches up to it in the corner. We'll find Segura. Segura just lets it roll out.
Tried to create a chance there on the wing. I mean, it was a nice little through ball down on the close side.
So far, I think aggression from both sides is pretty imminent, though. You can tell they want to score goals. They want to score goals early on, especially. Try and get that edge that we talked about.
Me trying to push Frederick back.
As Kron had possession for a little bit, but Frederick will regain this. As teetering with that ball along the sideline. Finds Heil. Heil finds Baruman. And once again, Mead will regain possession.
I mean, Mead right there, that was a perfectly executed defensive strategy. Forces her on the wing and then cut off the inside cross chances.
It was a smart look, and Mead's goalie will take this ball herself. Gonna kick it on out.
She's got to be careful. Can't hold that ball for longer than 6 seconds, or
Nope.
you're gonna get called for that.
As Boatman, once again, Mind you, I think the advantage that Mead might have over Frederick Girls, as there was a little bit of a tug there, and very clearly Mead trying to play it off like there wasn't. But I think the advantage that they have is looking at some of their players, as I mentioned, Boatman. She is a tall girl. I remember her being in like elementary school, middle school. She was tall. She was probably like 5'10", and she probably grew a little bit. And looking at some of their other girls, they're around that same height. And whenever you're trying to get the ball, I mean, this might come in handy in certain moments where that ball goes up high, and you're kind of forced with your smaller players to kind of squeamishly play it on the ground. So,
I mean, definitely, if you can get that cross chance in there, you got the height advantage down there against Frederick's little defensive line.
As once again, 2 Frederick players hightailing it on Meads, and that'll be a goal scored on Lettner. Lettner tried to reach out, arms outstretched.
Yeah, that one's just a tough break for Frederick there. I mean,
you could tell they were trying to catch up to that ball, but she just had that slight edge.
she had an extra step over the defensive front of Frederick.
She did, and now
That was
sitting at 35 minutes. Mead has now scored the first goal of the game. Frederick hoping to retaliate from that, as we've seen good progression down the field from Frederick, but they keep almost gifting it straight to Mead. There seems to be a lack of communication on Frederick's part.
I mean, this is a chance now for Frederick, you know, settle in a little bit. We're about 5 minutes in now. You got to just settle in, feel the game out a little bit, and then.
As you saw Heil try and snatch it from Mead, and now chasing once again. This seems to be a habit of Frederick. Rather than catching up, they're just left to chase, and I think they'll just let that one roll out. No chance of recovering that.
Trying to create that same chance they had on that goal opportunity. Trying to send it at that far side and then, you know, get the cross in. But right now, that goal, that was a tough angle that she had to shoot that from.
It was impressive, though. You saw it kind of curl in.
Yeah, it went right over top.
Which that's a tricky thing to try and defend. There's not really any way you can do that, especially from that angle, as you mentioned. So props to Mead getting it in a tricky spot. I know I hate to say it, props to Mead, but Frederick hoping to reciprocate that as Van Dyke had the ball for a little bit. Then looks like Grillis with possession, back kicks it, finds Gomez. Gomez sends it soaring down the field, and Frederick able to snatch it right underneath their noses. And once again, Mead regains possession. Lots of back and forth so far in this game.
Mead is playing very, very physical right now. They're
not afraid to just get right up in your grills, like, at all.
They're not afraid to use their speed that they have.
As Williams working the sideline, and thankfully
cleared
Frederick able to find and snatch that ball away before anything could happen, as that was Paluda.
Another prime opportunity for Mead to score there. They had a chance across the box.
As that was a nasty cutaway, and it looks like she'll tumble to the ground.
They say all ball.
A little bit of a bodying move there.
Both teams are, I mean, Mead right now, they look more like the physical team.
They do.
But Frederick is trying to keep up with that physicality.
They are.
And not allow Mead to try to score another one.
That bumped against White and Mead. No matter how many times I have to say it, once again with this ball, Adler working from the inside.
Beautiful ball in, but great.
Lettner, beautiful job to stop that before it got anywhere near that goal.
Great play. I mean, she comes out of her crease and, you know, comes up and
she did. She
cuts off the lane.
She anticipated it too, which honestly is sort of a hard thing to do whenever you're goalie. You can't really tell what they're going to do. And as we saw on Mead's original goal, you couldn't really tell what they were going to do. You just knew they were going to take sort of an angled shot. And
Mead, they're a scary team right now. They're trying to build off their momentum.
As that was Paluda with a little bit of a slip up. Able to recover, though, perfectly fine.
Yeah, right now, Frederick, they kind of seem a little distraught.
Yeah.
A little confused.
They do. I think communication-wise, they're sort of lacking from that aspect, really struggling to find these creases where they can make these shots to one another, as Brooke Boatman will start us off. A little bit of a chest bump.
But I mean, from what I've seen up here is, you know, it's just been all Mead inside Frederick territory. We've only seen Frederick down in, Mead's box area
Agreed.
a handful of times right now, and Mead is really doing a great job right now applying the pressure.
Yeah, Mead's picked up the pacing for sure, as Frederick able to intercept that ball. But Mead will just kick it on out.
We'll say it stays with Mead.
Yeah. Some strange plays, but as you put it, they're staying just sort of in this antsy place where they could score easily on Frederick's side, but they haven't yet. And Frederick, I'm sure, is anticipating that scoring to come soon. And if they don't stop it, I mean, Mead's already leading 1-0, and that can pretty much be a whole soccer game in one. So they really have to step up now and realize that, as you put it, they've only been down on Mead's side of the field a handful of times, and so got to step it up.
And Frederick right now, they got to be careful. Like you said, allowing Mead to get these shot attempts and let him go up early. They're up 1, but, as soon as the goals start piling on, it starts to become more of a harder game to get back into.
Yep, got to catch up rather than
keep up.
Yep. An antsy shot
Mead with
from Williams.
Oof. Another little chance there for Mead.
I know.
Frederick got to get this ball out of their own end. They got to try to create a chance right now to put this ball in Mead's half of the field. But that takes it right to one of my keys about bringing, more players up to get onto the attack.
Mm-hmm. So far, we haven't really seen much of it. I mean, we've seen them stay consistently defense-wise, I think. But other than that, they haven't played any offense, at all.
Another almost crucial chance there
yeah.
for Mead.
Lettner, you saw her sort of tense in the box, and you could tell she got antsy, but thankfully it just rolled right on past.
Shot just a little wide there.
Just a little. Just a little to the side.
But Frederick right now, if they could keep the pressure. I mean, they're trying to run 3 attack down on this Mead. I think they've got about 5-ish defenders down there back. It's hard for them to try to get past that defensive line and try to, get a scoring opportunity. They just need to keep attacking at it, and eventually it will open up and they can get a chance to score.
Mead, again, crisscrossing along the sideline. Frederick trying to intercept the ball. Little bit of knocking heads, but not much, as they'll send this deep down the field. Mead able to recover, of course.
It feels right now like Mead knows where the ball is going to be.
They're anticipating it beautifully, way better than Frederick is at the moment. Frederick, though, if they can step it up, they can match Mead's energy. And once again, this is Mead's first game.
Oh. Big chance in the box there. Once again.
That was Van Dyke, who tried to take the last-ditch effort shot, almost had the edge over Lettner, who sort of took the bait and went to the side rather than trying to defend, not offend. The main part of the goal, which Van Dyke had a perfect shot, but it was wide of the mark.
Just took a wrong touch off the foot.
It did, as Boatman pretty much launches it over to Frederick and Baruman.
Frederick right now, you're in about the 27-minute mark of this first half.
And that ball will be sent flying down the field, just trying to catch up to it. Frederick, though, they have a little bit of an advantage over Mead at the moment, getting a little bit more physical. There's no call, though.
Yeah,
and finally a drag. It's interesting, though. Looked like sort of latched on. Looks like that was maybe Heil and Gomez, who sort of linked arms. Looked like kind of intentional, but
you gotta be careful, I think.
You do.
Ref might be giving her a yellow.
Yep. Excuse me, that was not Heil, that was Van Dyke.
As we've seen her a few times already tonight.
We have. Her name has been
charted down.
Yeah.
They will say Mead ball, even though the penalty
was against Mead, I believe.
Unless
it was against Frederick, I don't know.
It could have been against Frederick, but I think it might.
I believe it was against Mead, though, as the goalie send it soaring. Bella Wright. Frederick looking a little bit better communication-wise as they're finding their creases down the field, but just sending it right back to Wright. who at this point is pretty much just like a lapdog, grabbing the balls at ease, and there's no pressure on Wright at all.
Like I said, you gotta make Mead feel pressured on their home field, which is really hard to do, especially if you're the road team coming in. You can't allow Mead to feel, you know, in their rhythm, in their groove.
Agreed.
You can't let them get comfortable. You have to make them feel that,
Fancy,
you know,
yep.
yeah, the game's not in their hands. It's on both sides.
As Ormsby finds Williams. Williams, though, getting chased.
Try to make a move around her. Just couldn't quite get the ball fully.
See Williams trying to make it Mead ball, and I believe it will stay Mead ball.
Sometimes it's challenging for the refs down there to get a good look at it.
Agreed. As back spinning kick. That was quite a look. Haven't seen that one.
Trying to.
And Lettner, though, thankfully it was sort of a slow-moving ball, so there wasn't much to defend there. But good that she stayed on her toes. That could have been a tricky one if she hadn't been paying attention.
Trying to look like, you know, a little bit of the Cristiano Ronaldo
I
bicycle
know.
kick looking goal. Would have been a pretty sweet goal to witness.
It was. The only problem is it came up
Wrong
a little
side.
yeah, a little high and
Would have been scored for the wrong
a little
side.
slow. And that too. Wrong side. As once again, Mead, their aggression with their headbutts. They are not afraid to send their head clashing into the ball, which, yeah, you know. As Bruman, no call. As Williams gets the aggressive advantage over Paluda.
I mean,
And I think that ball will just kick straight into one of the Mead players. Looks like that was Gomez.
this game
Gomez,
is
a little slight limp. Excuse me, not Gomez, that's Adler. Adler, there was a little bit of a limp, seems to be okay. And unsportsmanlike right there. It's one of those where,
little
yeah,
aggression after the
a little
whistle there.
feisty.
Gotta
I
be
get
wary
it,
of
I get
that.
it. Rivalry, big game, but at the same time, as we were talking about beforehand, before the game, there's an element of sportsmanship, and you know, that just right there was not anything that they talked about. Lettner anticipated it, booted it with her hands. See a kick, miss kick from
Little
Frederick.
whiff.
Yeah, they get the whiff of the ball, and then Cleats didn't find it, but
That right there, I mean, that was a beautiful ball into the box. I'm kind of surprised how some Mead player did not get
Yeah.
on the other end of it.
Segura finds Jostin. Jostin crisscrosses. Lettner, good dive. There are some clean saves. I think she's trying to make up for her initial goal. As we have
Little friend in here. As I lost my own train of thought there.
That's okay. Our friend distracted us. It's fine.
I mean, got my train of thought back. It feels as they're leaving, you know, Leitner right now out to dry. She's kind of being hung out to dry. Frederick's defensive line is not quite where it needs to be.
No, she's sort of like the last-ditch effort, but they're making her like the first line of defense, even though she is the last. And she really shouldn't be. You should have people defending you properly. And right now, they're just sort of lackadaisical about it.
I've heard that word a few times here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Wonder who I got that from.
Yeah, good old coach.
Turned around, tried to hit it, and it bounced off the back of Baruman. She didn't even see it. It came flying into the back of her.
You know, soccer is one of those sports where you gotta either just gonna take the shot or you're gonna be in a spot where you better dodge it or you're gonna get hit.
I know. As Lettner, unsure as to what that was, you see a little bit of confusion, as I think that was intended from Frederick, but the ball just, yeah.
I mean,
She'll just kick it off herself, as that was sort of odd.
I mean, she's kind of yelling at the wall right there. You know, you got to get in front of that shot.
Yeah.
As that ball had a decent shot to get in the net, but Frederick right now like you said, kind of lackadaisical out there.
That was good.
They just need to stay there and find their rhythm and, you know, get going.
Boatman finds the crease in between the players, able to get it decently down the field before Lettner puts an end to it, sending it soaring herself.
Lettner's she's got a leg.
She has a leg on her.
She can send a ball.
Yeah, she cranks it like
40,
halfway
50
down.
yards.
Yeah.
if she really wanted to. So that could be an advantage for Frederick, but they got to stop Mead's attacks and get the ball in their possession.
And Frederick once again giving this ball straight up to Mead as Williams gets blocked. It was a decent block. I don't think she anticipated it herself. Looked like it just bounced off the ball of her foot, but.
So, I mean, sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time.
I was going to say, that was one of those instances, a perfect instance right there, and a good save. Unintentional, too.
I think it's a Mead corner. Can't quite see around.
And it is, as Lettner fully prepared to swing out of the box towards it. Thankfully, though, Frederick stepping up as they will send that soaring.
They're trying right now, Mead. I mean, they're getting the shot attempts. They're making things happen. I'm honestly surprised they're not up, 2-3 more goals right now.
Agreed.
Mead right now is just kind of stifling Frederick.
Yep.
And making them feel that they don't have a chance in this game. But if you look at it, Frederick's had decent chances for themselves.
Yeah, stifling indeed. Couldn't have said it better. As, I think right now, as you put it, Frederick right now is lacking in even their attempts to get down the field. Like, we haven't seen much progression. It's just been stuck on Frederick's side. That's really, I'm sure, putting Elena Lettner in a stressful situation because, as I said, right now, she's the first line of defense to go. Frederick defensively isn't doing much. They really have to come up with a game plan.
I mean, you look at the game, you got about 19 minutes to go, but your strategy at the start, you're kind of balanced. You don't want too many players on attack. You don't want too many players in the defensive line. But now Mead's doing all these things. They score the first goal. My thoughts is go to the attacking mentality and start bringing more people down. But right now you might want to send more people back and try to hold off Mead's.
There's nobody back as Mead tries to retain possession after a deep kick down the field.
Kind of playing keep away down there.
They are. It's a smart game plan, though, as Kron found Jostin. Jostin, that was intercepted by Frederick. Frederick, once again, getting beaten out by Mead. A little bit of a shuffle step. Looked like she sort of straddled the ball. But Mead finds Boatman. Little ref hop.
Little bunny hops from the ref there.
Agile. I mean, they have to be agile, so.
You got to be ready to run.
Exactly. As Jostin kicks it back. Finds Williams, and the ball will just roll on out. And I think it'll stay. Yep. It'll stay Mead's ball.
We can hear it from up here, but I keep hearing some, Mead's communicating well right now. They're talking. They know where they need to be. They're creating chances, but Frederick's side, there hasn't been much opportunity likewise for them.
Yeah, they're talking, that's for sure. Yeah, as you put it, communication-wise, Frederick lacking. Gotta step it up.
I mean, after that chance that they had, and I think it was one of the more recent chances, off that free kick that had a chance to go in. Leitner just kind of looks at her team and very confused, trying to, be the captain and try to control her crew or team.
As an opportunity here, but they had nobody down there with several Mead defenders. So sort of a weak kick right towards Boatman. Boatman sort of fakes it before a little shuffle step kick. And Lettner realizing she's got to save it. Beautiful save from Lettner.
Once again, Mead, excellent ball movement, finding the lanes. That ball was perfectly played, just maybe a little ahead of her.
That easily could have just been kicked in. There was pretty much nobody stopping except Lettner, so.
Just got to be wary of what's going to happen next, where that ball is going to be put next. Now Frederick, you know, they're starting to get the numbers down there. They've got about 4 on 5.
They do. I think they're starting to figure out the logistics of this game and what they have to do.
And that's get more players down there to get chances.
Exactly, as Mead once again in scoring position. Lettner, though, able to snuff that one out before anything grew. As Frederick High School Booster Club is always looking for parent volunteers to help carry on the long tradition of supporting the students of this community. The purpose of Booster Club is to provide the funding and manpower for the homecoming tailgate celebration, the after-prom party, grants to student groups and clubs, as well as scholarships to graduating seniors. If you're interested in becoming involved, we would invite you to reach out through our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us or attend our next meeting in the FHS library. If you're wanting to be more involved in the community and have a desire to do something that benefits the students of our community, we'd love to hear from you. The FHS Booster Club would like to give a special shout out to their partners who went above and beyond supporting Frederick High School last year: Les Schwab Tire, Linexa Boulder, Remax Momentum, Riptide Car and Pet Wash, Napa University Auto Parts, Stapp Interstate Toyota, My Guy HVAC, Pepper's Fireside Grill, and American Family Insurance. Again, please visit our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us if you'd like to get involved. We welcome any supports, not just parents. The FHS Booster Club is a proud partner of GEBN.
She didn't miss much.
I was once again sort of stuck in the middle of this field. And Mead, that was a clean cutback from Williams.
Once again, another high chance scoring opportunity. Once again, gets snuffed out for Frederick's defensive line, who's starting to find their rhythm later here.
Later in this game, indeed, as Williams gets physical. And Boatman able to come out on top as she sneaks it past over the heads of all of the Frederick defenders. And thankfully, Frederick able to snuff it out before Adler had the chance to kick it through the goal. You can tell Lettner tense. She was prepared.
Lettner, you know, she's on edge right now. She's on her toes.
She is, which is both good and bad because she probably shouldn't be this stressed. I mean, we haven't seen the goalie Bella, right? She has just been pretty much
laying back,
laxative. There's been no movement from her pretty much, except the few times it rolled to her like obediently, and she just picked it up. So not much pressure.
Frederick right now just needing to keep up the defensive chances. You know, it's a 2-half game. We're only in the first with the last, 13 minutes of the first. There's still a lot of time. And Frederick just can't count. They just need to, keep rolling and keep taking chances.
Agreed. Couldn't have said it better.
Frederick dives into the bench a little bit, trying to get some new fresh legs on the field.
Interesting little shuffle kick midair, and they will retain their possession for Mead as Jostin sort of kicked it back, and Frederick able to find it.
It's kind of like field. Right now, it kind of just feels like Frederick is just trying to take shot or try to find passes, and then once the pass is there, they let it go, and then Mead's just on it, and they're not letting Frederick get anywhere close to trying to put that ball in the net.
Mm-hmm. As JHL Constructors, with a legacy of over 36 years, JHL Constructors is a fully integrated Colorado-based and Colorado-focused construction firm. From infrastructure to vertical building, our success is built on long-lasting relationships. Hold on, there we go. With our clients, design teams, subcontractors, and our Colorado community. To us, building Colorado's future means more than improving the built environment. It is our genuine commitment to give back to our communities, do the right thing always, and collaborate on impactful projects like building top-tier educational facilities for the next generation. That's why we are a proud supporting partner of Frederick High School, home of the Golden Eagles. as try to get it to Jostin. Instead, it'll just roll on out.
This is a prime scoring opportunity for Frederick. You know, if people, you know, if you watch soccer, you know that, you know, there's no offsides on throw-ins, so you can get as far back behind that defensive line as you can.
Which I'm sure can probably give you sort of a technical advantage, too.
If you had a somewhat of an arm, you could probably
Sort
send
of,
it
yeah.
down. Great chances.
As that was good old Hayden Rickman with the block with her leg.
We know that name pretty well.
We do. I know Hayden.
Good little basketball player.
Oh, yeah. It's always cool to see the athletes that participate in the multiple sports.
Multi-sport, yeah.
Just goes to show how good she is. Plays, I believe, I think she swings for varsity on
Occasionally here and
yeah,
there, yeah.
basketball, and plays varsity for
Soccer.
So not too bad of a combo. Pretty set up there.
I mean, probably one of those always busy athletes. Got something going on.
Agreed. As that will be Van Dyke. Quick little roll to Boatman. Boatman,
Wide of the net.
very wide in the net. Far left. Way far left.
Just a bit outside that time. Frederick right now. You know, you're going down. You've got about 10 minutes left until you get to the halftime. I feel like right now coach is definitely thinking of something right now to try to get her team in a rhythm and try to ultimately net a goal, net the equalizer.
Agreed. They really have to lay something together. Otherwise, I mean, this game might fall apart at the second half. Just, you know what I mean. Got to score at least one goal. Try and keep up with them.
You gotta just, if the chance presents itself, you kind of just have to take it.
Even if it's a risky opportunity. As Mead so far has had so many opportunities that weren't nearly as risky. Sidesteps a defender. Still going. Oh my gosh, Ormsby in the middle of the field, surrounded by a flock of Golden Eagles. And thankfully, that'll roll on out. Stay. Mead Maverick ball.
That was another dangerous opportunity for
As I
Frederick.
believe that was Strojink, who took a little bit of a tumble. Yep, it was. Good old Addie.
Trojans.
I know her. I know her and her brother, for those of you who listen to the basketball. You probably know that infamous name. Good old JJ.
Good old JJ. Just casually sets records. And, you know,
The
balls
troublemaker
out.
of records, yep.
Does what he does best.
As looked like trying to make a field goal, and instead of aiming for the goal that they were supposed to be aiming for, soars right over, and Leonard doesn't even have to worry. Don't break a sweat.
Yeah, that's Frederick right now has not had the possession that they need to try to net an equalizer here. Mead is just keeping the pressure on. They kind of flipped my key against them, and they're applying the pressure, not allowing Frederick to score chances. They're trying to keep the win streak against Frederick alive and rolling.
Yes, they are, and I think we saw more of an outburst performance-wise last week, although I wasn't there to watch the game, just hearing about it. And they really have to retaliate with that energy again. Like this game, you gotta step up energy-wise. You gotta have time to think about and just prepare yourself then, as that went right underneath one of the Mead Mavericks' legs.
But
And tried to step there, but Ormsby slipped it up, and Frederick.
Frederick right now, since really their about fourth, fifth opportunity Mead has to score, the defensive line is kind of tightened up and not allowed Mead to get back into a scoring opportunity. They have had chances, but right now for Frederick might be luckily not being able to counteract them.
Yeah, they've held hopefully, knock on wood, somehow I always end up jinxing this, but they've held Mead to 1 goal. Yeah, please knock on the wood. We're going to need it. As looks like that will be Wright, who will just get right back to Rickman, who will just let it soar out. And Strojink tried to get a foot on it. Looks like
Frederick ball.
Yep, Frederick will just regain possession anyways. And the kick. Strojink tried to intercept it midway. Looks like it didn't necessarily pay off.
It's very, very physical play right now, both sides.
It is, lots of chest bumping too.
Both sides not. They know the rivalry aspect of this game. And
they do.
Know how big this game is. You know, bragging rights are on the line here.
And as the sky is starting to dim and the lights are starting to brighten, this game should be interesting once the sky starts to settle down.
You know, maybe the darkness will give Frederick a little advantage.
Maybe it will. Flock of eagles in the night, so.
Mead.
And what a save by Lettner. Right corner of the goal. I mean, she has been pumping her hands left and right. She has had an outstanding performance preventing these shots from going in.
I mean, she's playing on another level right now, and she kind of has to do that.
She is. She's the only player that's stepping up right now.
Without her, you know, this could be
This could be a nasty game. This could be like the baseball game the other day.
Can't keep allowing, you know, these chances.
Which is the thing that kind of worries me. They've held Mead to 1, but if it ends up sort of where they kind of become sluggish, then later on that might not pay off. As
I want she'll just clear it out, not going to allow Frederick
Jostin will just let it sink through the border, and
inbound for Frederick, or
Frederick,
throw in.
This might be an opportunity for something.
They can't allow Mead to just get another easy clear out of the zone. They need to
step it up.
They need to get this ball deep inside the box. And
in order to do this, Rickman kicks it back, tries to find Strojink. Strojink, though, a little bit of back and forth along the midway mark of the field and racing to get the ball. That'll be Adler. Adler somehow slipping past Rickman's defense once again. And what a save from Lettner. Lettner. This is probably, she's like 6,
7, 8 saves, something around that number.
There's got to be some crazy amount of saves for her. She might break her own record.
She's definitely feeling the pressure right now.
She is.
But, you know, she's standing her ground. You know, she's got to defend that goal. And right now it's, like you said, 6, 7, around that number of saves. Frederick just needs to stay precautious and can't leave her out to dry.
Yeah, and we've seen Mead precariously tiptoe along the sideline of this game. That's sort of been their safe haven. As once again they find the corner, and thankfully, as from our angle, sort of looked like that was still in. Had a little bit of a heart attack, but thankfully it'll just roll on out.
Could have been a little own goal action there.
As I said, Mead, although they've been playing along sort of the sides of this field, they've had no trouble playing in the middle and anywhere in between. They've just sort of pretty much owned the field. There's been no opportunity for Frederick to muster up anything. So that's why they're sitting at no goals. It sort of makes sense. Mead is playing a very possessive defense.
Yeah, they're playing very, very locked down, not going to allow anything coming through the corners, middle or wide sides. Frederick's just got to find somewhat of a chance to stop that and let Fred and get a chance to score. That's just going to be a goal kick.
As there's about 2 minutes left in this first half.
I think, me personally, if I'm Frederick's coach right now, there's a lot to think about going into the halftime break.
Agreed. There's a ton to think about, especially looking at the 1-0 scoreboard. Although they don't have that much of an advantage, they sort of do.
The shots, and I don't think Frederick's had.
It's not just about the scoreboard, that's for sure.
I don't think Frederick's had a shot on goal yet.
No, they have not.
And Mead's had quite a few.
Exactly. As a little bit of a tumble. And Frederick, good job maneuvering.
It's a nice
Mead's
chance.
defense, but sends it right back to them. I regret that. Once again, jinxing it. Knock on wood.
Frederick right now. That was a golden opportunity once again.
That was.
And they just can't seem to get past Mead's line. And get back to that final line of defense, which is their goalie. But
I was going to say, right? I don't like she could probably be like stretching over there, do some yoga, like.
give her a little pillow and blanket.
Exactly.
Like, let her
She's
take a
fine.
little
The
nap.
pillow cube that I keep seeing pop up on my recommended.
Here's Frederick. About 30-ish seconds to go.
As you put it, 30 seconds, not too much time left in this first half.
And now, like I said, with Frederick's coach, got a lot to think about in this halfway mark. I think mainly the chances, scoring chances, would be probably one of her highest keys, and then the defensive lacklust of defense would be the second one to look at.
Exactly.
Another easy save there for Leitner.
And
that'll do it.
That will be the first half. As we're going to pop by an interview with Jackson Gibbs on the sideline in a moment. Ian, what all did you see from that first half?
I mean, from a Mead standpoint, I think that first half could not have gone really better except for scoring the goals that they had chances for. But Frederick's side, I'm looking at it like you gotta find a way to get a chance to score. You gotta keep the defensive line strong and not leave Leitner out by herself in the back line, and just gotta keep the fields rolling. Gotta keep the chances going and not allow Mead to get back up higher in this game. This game could easily be a 6-7 goal game, but it is still 1-0 for Mead.
Yep, as you said, Mead, they've had that 1 point advantage, and it's not just that. As I said, it's more than the scoreboard for sure. And they've just been, they've been overall a much better team, I think, performance-wise. So.
I mean, like you said, they've been a better team. They know what they're doing. They're playing well, and just got to keep the rhythm going if you're Mead's standpoint. But if you're Frederick, you gotta find rhythm. Gotta find a way to score, and keep that defensive strike rolling.
Couldn't have said it better, as apologies for the quick pause in which our interview is going to ensue. As looks like we're gonna now cut to Jackson Gibbs. Jackson.
Jackson Gibbs down here on the sideline with Coach. Coach, what are some keys you saw in the first half, and what are some things you would want to work on to get a score in the second half and get the win?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to keep the ball a little bit more. We just keep giving it away, and they're coming back at us. And then, again, just composure in defense. Our 1v1 defending, we're just getting beat every time with the speed of play. So just calming down and winning in those tackles. And then once we win the tackles, how do we build up and, try to keep possession in the front third?
Yeah, do you think the physicality of the game is affecting that at all?
Yeah, physicality, and the biggest thing is speed of play. They're winning every ball and they're, faster to everything, and we're reacting instead of, anticipating, so for sure.
All right, thank you, Coach. Sending it back up to you.
Thank you so much, Jackson, for that interview. As we are going to cut to a break, and we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Do you want a reliable realtor who you can trust with your money and owning or renting a home? Then you can turn to Zadell Realty, and specifically Greg Zadell. Greg is a local realtor who helps people buy and sell both homes and investment properties. He has an extended knowledge of the market and is extremely involved in the community. Along with being a local realtor right here in Frederick, Greg Zadell is extremely experienced in his profession. Not only is he a broker, but also the owner of Zadell Realty, located in the Carbon Valley area since 1980, just over 42 years as of now. Make sure to watch for the Zadell Real Estate article in the Consumer Report. You don't want to miss it. You won't regret it when you rely on Zadell Realty.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Pothole! Les Schwab tires is too, because Les Schwab fixes brakes, steering, and more. See those guys? They just do tires. Eyes ahead, Dad! Look, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Blinker! I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first. Watch, they're gonna come greet me.
Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
Hey, I'm Jake Marsing, social studies teacher and advisor of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, and you're watching GEBN. Go Golden Eagles!
Spending hours at games, competitions, concerts, and shows, I upload thousands of pictures onto my website, toneimages.smugmug.com. With no charge to download photos, families are welcome to get any picture they like. Taking the pressure off parents to capture the pictures during a game, shows, or competitions, letting them enjoy watching their kid. Additionally, I'm available to book senior pictures and photo shoots. DM me if you're interested.
In Frederick, we believe in rolling up our sleeves, not just for ourselves, but for each other. We believe in playing outside until the stars flicker on and protecting the hallowed ground of childhood. We believe in a lifelong commitment to actions as good as our intentions. We believe in the power of our voices and the obligation of our hearts to form a strong foundation. We believe we are onto something that's worth all we can give it. Here, the life we dream of is ours to create.
I think the future is bright for Frederick. I think we understand our identity and who we are, and we don't want to lose that.
The town is really built on the community of people and how everyone almost treats people like family.
I see an opportunity to have a seat at the table and to show our worth and our value and our undeniable characteristics of being a lovely community that's welcome to all.
Student Council is faced behind a lot of planning and fun events students get to partake in. We do everything from running Frederick's Got Talent to the volleyball co-ed tournament, coming up with a homecoming theme, helping out with the homecoming tailgate, being in charge of homecoming royalty, setting up from homecoming, giving out free hot chocolate, coming up with spirit weeks such as Pink Out, Tacky Tourist, and Freddy's Spirit Day. We also come up with the prom theme, Run Prom, and the After Prom. Make sure to follow the student council on Instagram at Frederick_StuCoach. You can be the first one to hear about the latest news.
You've likely heard in the news that interest rates are way too high, homes are just not selling, and the real estate market is about to crash at any moment. Hi, I'm Kendra Badgekar, your local real estate expert, and I've been serving Carbon Valley and Northern Colorado for over 7 years, and I've got some good news. The truth is, there are several creative finance options to get your interest rate down to a much lower rate if you're thinking about buying a home. And yes, homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, but with the right marketing strategy, they are still selling for a great value, so your equity is safe. If you're thinking about making a move this year, let's grab a cup of coffee and talk about the best way to get you there.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Santos. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Frederick High School, and you are watching GEBN, the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Go Golden Eagles!
Welcome back into the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I'm Carly Evans alongside Ian MacHendre. Ian, what all did you notice coming from either Mead or your Golden Eagles? What did you notice on either side, playing-wise, like strategies and other things, I guess?
I mean, mainly it's the physical play that Mead has been, progressing on Frederick, and Frederick hasn't been able to really answer with their own physical kind of play. It's been very hard for Frederick to, get past Mead's defensive line, open up chances.
Yeah, as you put it, definitely lackluster defensive-wise and offensively. I mean, they haven't been able to get it down the field, I think, in a good solid, I think, throughout that whole...
It's been a while.
Yeah, throughout that whole half, I think their scoring opportunities were very few and bare, and probably maybe 3 times they got past midfield. So definitely not, I think, the performance that the Frederick coaches wanted. And so hopefully able to step it up this first half as they got out of the huddle, and we are moments away from kicking off this second half.
I mean, I know we are trying to hopefully see a different side of Frederick that we didn't get to really see in that first half. The coaches are expecting it. A lot of the teams expecting it. They kind of just are, right now, they're kind of just rolling with the punches that Mead's throwing at them, and they haven't really been able to throw a punch back. So now would be a great chance for Frederick to do so.
I think Mead right now has just been dodging. If we're going to use punches, we're going to use the analogy that they're dodging all of Frederick's punches. And Frederick right now, not many punches to give Mead at the moment. So got to step it up, and we'll see how they manage to do that offensively, defensively. We'll see. As Mead starting us off, able to retain possession just like the first half, sending it to Adler. Adler, a little bit of scuffle between Seguera and Frederick as it'll find its way along the sideline.
So that's a chance Frederick needs. They need to move that ball wing side, set up a cross. But, the team's got to help her out there. She's being double covered. She can't quite do anything there. Team's got to come up and help her out. But that's a good start for Frederick, possessing the ball in Mead's zone a lot longer than they would be in the first half.
Agreed. Looks like the baseball game has finished. I
think it's concluded.
Check the score on that, just to give you guys a little bit of an update, as that was way over. Not sure if we were aiming for
goalpost,
the moon, or
they're kicking a field goal.
That's good. Wrong sport, but Mead will start us off once again.
Or not. Oh, I was looking at the wrong spot.
Yeah, send it flying away. midfield. Frederick able to find it. Looks like
handball.
Yep. So with that, Frederick is still going to not have possession. Close enough. Still going to not. Trojan will bat it with her head. And for the first time in a hot minute, Frederick has finally gotten it past the midway marker of the field. And with that, finally a little bit of pressure on Bella Wright. Bella Wright hasn't seen much action today. Only a few times where I'm sure she's been a little stressed. As looks like score on the baseball game. Frederick able to come back, beat Mead, now sitting at 1-1. They beat him 6-4, so definitely a better effort than the first game that we saw, rather than 12-1.
You know,
Finally beat the rivals.
That's good for, you know, the sport, the overall sport records.
I was going to say the atmosphere too, I'm sure here is
Oh, yeah.
a little bit better after hearing that news. As Frederick's still trailing in this game, Mead leading 1-0. They have for consecutively, probably since the first few minutes, honestly, like the first 10 minutes.
It's been about 38-ish minutes of just Mead hammering Frederick.
Yeah, they've been controlling the ball, and that's something that Frederick right now, communication-wise, they haven't been doing great with. And Bella, right, gonna send it out.
That's Leitner.
Oh, is it
They
Leitner?
flip sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little confusion there.
As Mead just picking up the pace where they started once again. Leitner, though, she's continuing her quick pace, too. So, thankfully able to keep up with Mead's progression down the field. As we still haven't seen much action, a little bit of bodying and racing, trying to catch up to it, takes the shot herself. Right, that would have been a decent corner shot if not for Bella Wright being placed beautifully right in the corner, as words are very hard, and I said beautifully.
I mean, if you look at it though from a good standpoint, you know, that's one of their first shots on goal. So definitely starting to move in a better direction than they were in the first half.
Agreed. As after minutes of a lackluster performance from Frederick's offense, finally some room to breathe as they're on Mead's side once again.
Starting to wake up a little bit.
Hopefully they can take control of this ball better than they did the first half. Utilize those changes they probably made at halftime. As Mead, though, they're moving down the field.
That ball placed down the line, and another one down the line, another
As
chance.
Adler finds Bowman. Bowman, her shot was way off. Too far left.
That might have gone in the lacrosse goal there in a minute.
It did.
That would have been a pretty good shot right there.
I mean, not too bad. I mean, you think about goal-wise, the goalpost much smaller, so.
That would have been pretty impressive.
Unfortunately, wrong sport. So the score will stay 1-0. 35 minutes left in the second half.
Frederick down 1-0.
As would you like to meet an Olympian, connect with a D1 athlete, or talk with a Twitch streamer? Rocky Students is a part of Rocky.Church, and they are all about connecting students to their purpose. They believe students are the future, and their goal is to help you be empowered, encouraged, and supported. There are many ways to connect with Rocky Students. You can start by watching their monthly podcast on YouTube, I highly recommend, where you'll hear from guests on a multitude of topics, show up on a Wednesday night to hang out with friends, and meet some incredible guest speakers, or even join their gaming community on Discord. Follow them on Instagram at RockyStudents_Frederick to learn more. They mentioned those podcasts. They had a, what was he? I think he was like a 96-year-old dude on the podcast.
Ooh.
So it was actually a really interesting podcast. So
Definitely.
make sure and
I bet
go
he had
check
some-
that out.
Bet he had some stories to tell.
Oh, he did. As Leitner hoping to send this one flying down the field.
She's got the leg.
She does. We saw it earlier. And that'll be Williams who will sort of retaliate with her own kick.
Playing a little ring around the rosy action
Yep,
right
finds
there.
Williams' sneaky footwork. Haven't seen that in a while. As Adler slips it underneath to Seguera. And once again, tiptoeing along this sideline, trying to sneak past and get the edge over Frederick. Looks like it'll unfortunately end in Frederick in a Frederick trip.
It'll be Frederick ball.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of tugging of the jerseys. You
A
know,
little bit of tugging. Could see it from up here, so.
a little bit of rivalry special action right there.
Some significance. Yeah, as we saw earlier and how they mentioned, you know, you got to be a little bit more compassionate. I mean, it's sports. Like, you have to have that element, and we saw a little bit of unsportsmanlike earlier, as you mentioned, the rivalry effect comes into play, and that aggression kind of shows in moments.
Especially in, you know, Mead's home.
Agreed.
You
Home opener.
You can't. The physicality is going to be on another level.
Agreed.
It's going to be offsides.
Yep.
On the far side.
Far side of the field. And corner kick. Mead, once again, they're aggressive with their head bumps and chest bumps. Multiple bumps.
They're doing whatever they can to get that ball, and it's worked well for them there.
They have. It's definitely a method that they use often. As Adler sort of got bodied, still trying to sneak past. Yeah.
Very physical play.
It was good control from Frederick. You saw a little bit of possessive nature, trying to keep the ball away, sort of playing a little bit of keep away with Mead, but we'll see how them stepping their physicality up will factor into this game later on.
It's like every time Frederick touches the ball and sends it down, Mead's right there to, you know, touch it and make a play on it. And
agreed, as Grillis will get it snatched from her.
Slide tackle.
Yeah. And Van Dyke back in the game. She got flagged earlier. And Boatman off to the races to kick it in the opposite direction. Tried to get it to right, but that was
clear.
That's gone.
Yeah, that one's a little out there. I mean,
a little far right. I mean, it was a good effort. That was a deep kick from, if you're looking at where she was. The effort was there, but just probably should have gotten closer to the box.
To me, it seemed, you know, a little rushed. She tried to, you know, just get the shot off.
Yeah,
but,
gotta
you know,
slow the game down.
If she held the ball there for a second, she would have seen, you know, she had somebody on the far wide little lane. She would have had a chance to, you know, send that through, and Frederick might have had a chance to knot the equalizer here.
Agreed, as a little under 31 minutes left in this game. As you could tell, I think Frederick has definitely improved physically and I think a little bit emotionally from their first half. Their first half, I think it sort of drained them, having those, you know, 15-10 minutes to just sort of relax and try and shake probably the fatigue was beneficial, but now they got to capitalize on it, and so far we haven't seen that yet, as Boatman finds one of her teammates trying to get it back on Frederick's side.
I mean, as the night is getting darker,
just hit the side of the goalpost. Adler, what a shot. Arced a little far left, something that we've seen commonly, but it was one heck of a shot.
I mean, that one might have just been
that one was
pure
luck.
For
It was one of those. Lettner probably couldn't have defended that if that snuck past her. She dove. And once again, back-to-back crazy saves, not by Lettner, but by the goalpost itself.
Goalie's best friend right there, the goalpost.
And you could, I'm sure Lettner letting a sigh of relief as two back-to-back saves by her best friend.
Yikes.
And this score will stay 1-0.
Mead, that's kind of just
that was luck.
That's one of those draining moments for Mead.
Yep.
Nice shots. They were beautiful shots.
They were.
We're just unluckily flying past.
As Gomez got a head on it, but bumped it to nowhere. As Lettner gonna side drop it.
Frederick's got to be careful moving the ball this close to the net.
They do. I mean, so far, good offense, good deep kick, but now there's nobody
home.
over there.
.28:40 to go. Frederick down 1.
Mead. Looks like Boatman waiting for the ball. Thankfully able to find another one, not off chasing some of them that tried to run away.
To Neverland over there.
Exactly. So I say that ball was way out there. Good luck finding it as Adler. They're getting physical with her. She's sort of a shorter player, so I'm sure her physicality element is getting under your skin. And so
I mean, both teams right now, I guess for Frederick, it's a sense of desperation.
Kron goes down, and
I think that was
the unhappy audience.
So, I mean, they both kind of ran into each other, but
They did. I think it was kind of equal there.
yeah, Louder went down too there.
They both balanced it out. Both ran into one another. Although I'm sure, obviously, for the safety of the players, Mead not too happy with that. They voiced their concern, but
Frederick's gonna hopefully do something with this free kick.
as that soars way over, and Golden Eagles goal! Frederick finally coming back. 1-1. Your Golden Eagles now tied with their rivals, the Mead Mavericks. Whoo!
Perfect precision pass, backdoor feed, there to answer. And Frederick finds the equalizer.
And the equalizer, that was probably the best effort we've seen from Frederick all night, as we leapt out of our seats for that.
We're all knotted up here now.
1-1, 27 minutes to go. Now the pressure is on. Not only have you caught up with the Mavericks, now you have to sort of gain that upper edge over them, which we've seen them with that shot. That was not an easy shot. But Mead looks a little frazzled from that. I think it swayed momentum.
I mean, now it's the question of if Frederick can, keep building on it, or
if they'll let it sort of sit.
for Mead.
They might let it kind of sit and simmer, kind of let it build for Frederick.
Yeah, I mean, either they're going to, keep the aggression, keep trying to score, or they're going to, kind of push back and keep it defense and try to end the game in either a tie. But if they keep the aggression, they can go and try to go get the go-ahead goal.
Agreed. As
Getting a little talking to over
yep,
there.
Getting a little talking to. As Les Schwab Tire Centers provide free peace of mind, tire protection, and lifetime tire and mileage care for the life of your tires. It's our best tire value promise, and it comes with every car and pickup tire we sell. Les Schwab also cares about our communities. It's why they are a proud sponsor of Frederick High School and the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
I mean, it seems after that goal, Frederick, they seem to have a lot more energy.
Yep, they seem to be more put together. Not so much sort of haphazardly everywhere as opposed to the first half.
It seems as if they, just got a jolt of lightning struck into them.
They did. It was a boost of energy.
Found their rhythm.
They had their energy drink of the day. Red Bull gave them wings.
I guess so.
As that'll go right to right. Right to right.
Right to
It's
right.
clever. Double right.
Guess so.
As she will send this sailing down the field. And Mead able to regain possession. Find Ormsby, who finds Williams. Williams sort of been a big name as she is moving down this field with ease. Takes the shot herself, and woo! Let's just say if Lettner hadn't been there, I think it would have been a perfect shot. It was a little far left, but Lettner, you could tell, she kind of put the pressure on Williams to just sort of, as you put it earlier, sort of rush through the shot, and it ended up sort of hazing left. So
kind of works out for Frederick's favor there.
it did.
But, that's just one of the many opportunities Mead has had to score. And, you look at the second half, you see, if you're just tuning in, you see it's 1-1. You think it's a fairly even game. Frederick is kind of getting lucky here in the later stages of the second half.
Yeah, this is purely luck based. I mean, there are 2 goals back to back, where it probably
should have gone
in.
But, good old friend Post there to save the day.
Yep. We'll pay our tributes to him later. As Mead.
Call her out of bounds.
Yep.
Now another chance for Frederick.
And this is exactly the momentum builder that they need. Looking at where they are, all knotted up. And plenty of opportunity here. As we've seen a much better look from Frederick racing to get the ball. Boatman side by side.
Louder over there, I believe.
As that was Louder and Boatman. 2 of them, they've been relatively physical, I think. Boatman has been sort of their star player. She's really put the pressure on Lettner multiple times where Elena's had to dive. And some of those dives, although not the cleanest, they got the job done. And that's really all Frederick's looking for, as they're just trying to get this edge that they are so desperately needing with 23 minutes left and this clock winding down.
Still a lot of time for both sides. If you're
Agreed.
Frederick right now, you kind of just have to take a breath right now and realize, okay, you scored the tying goal. It's all back to even. It's back to 0-0. Now you just got to execute the game plan that coach has put on you and just make a play and score a goal.
Boatman tried to find Morris. And looks like the ball went out of bounds. And it will be Frederick's ball.
A few substitutions on the pitch.
Looks like Morris dropping to the far side, if not going, she's going out. I was about to say, substituting Morris now. Some new players getting some good varsity playing time in.
And I mean, that might be the key for both teams right now. Get some fresh legs on the field and get them, in a game that's this close, clock winding down, but there is still a lot of time, but clock winding down, you can't be too precautious or this game's going to end in a draw.
Yeah, this game is tight roping around. I mean, really just got to stay on that thin winding wire right now where, as you put it, all knotted up still. And Frederick with possession, going to kick it out. Mead, though, once again, a rebuttal of the chest bumps.
This is the one thing Frederick has, started to build off of what Mead has done in the first half is when Mead gets that ball at the midfield line, they're trying to send it out wide. Frederick right now, they're not allowing Mead to do any of that, as we see right there.
And a nasty little fall. Both of them went down.
A little tumble. Should be Mead throw in, but Frederick's got to be careful now.
It is now Mead dangerously close to scoring position, but Frederick, what a way to get right through, cutting back left and right. Frederick still with possession, 3 defenders on.
I believe that's Louder once again, one of the younger players on this team. She was kind of trying to maneuver around. She was kind of outnumbered, a little 4-to-1 ratio there.
I mean, the 4-to-1 though is surprisingly paying off though. Yes.
She did
slipped
almost
through,
get
yeah.
through. If she had maybe 1 or 2 players down there to help her, Frederick might be in another scoring chance right now.
Yep, if she had cut through the breakaway.
But Frederick's defensive line not allowing Mead to really even get a shot. As I say that. A little jinx action going on.
As I say, you're pulling a me.
It's not a good thing in this stadium game.
It's not. 20 minutes. Clock still ticking down. Once again, this ball precariously placed on Frederick's side. Mead hoping to make something out of that, as we've seen them do oh so well. As a little bit of a miss.
Misfire.
And Mead, once again, Jostin, able to find her teammates. As I said, for an opener, you can tell Mead has been playing aggressively as Lettner. snags it up last second.
That was
Dangerous.
dangerous, and
I think that was Mead's warning.
Louder trying to hustle down there on the counterattack opportunity, but Leitner makes the save, and then that ball rolls pretty perfectly to a Mead offensive striker, and a chance for them to score there once again. Just didn't pay off because Frederick was able to locate the ball and get it out ultimately.
As takes the shot herself, Leitner with a snag at the fingertips.
Now Mead's just kind of taking any shot they have.
Yeah,
The
it was
lane's
a
open.
far out shot.
I mean, but these girls got the legs to do so.
They do. I mean, as I've noticed, they tend to take the shots a little far left. Tends to be their placement.
It's kind of curving. They've
Not
got
the
it lined
direction
up.
they want. It is lined up for sure, but
Just curving in the wrong direction, wrong way. So on that cross or corner, she's trying to get that ball far side, create an opportunity on that far post where Leitner's not ready for it.
sneaks it through Frederick.
Lot of bouncing balls.
And the one thing that we feared would happen as they were down there, that'll be a goal for the Mead Mavericks. Mead, now they have that razor blade of an edge. 2-1 in a game so low scoring and where it's been mainly defense and stepping up. This is exactly what Frederick should be fearing. With 18 minutes left, you have to come up with something. Obviously, plenty of playing time left, but games go fast, especially in a game where it was tied, and now they have this huge piece of momentum.
You know, on that shot there from Mead, it felt, Frederick kind of felt maybe a little worried. Shot off the crossbar.
Oh, once again in this case, although not on Mead's side, took the shot herself, and
like we've been saying, they take deep shots. That was a deep shot.
it almost paid off too, as Wright stretched as far as she could. Leitner, she can applaud the curse of the arc right or left, not right. I feel like one of those days I'm going to be one of those people who has to write down left and right on their hands. And,
Try to figure out which one's
look
which.
down, driving. It's turn right. And I'm like, well, got to check the hands.
Exactly.
Mead going to take corner shot.
No,
Just looking for something.
They're going to play the drop ball in the corner because it hit off the little flag over there, so nobody really knows what they do
It's
in that situation.
Smart look. Mead hoping to capitalize Adler. They're backpedaling, which is interesting, but I think right now they're spreading Frederick's defense thin.
They're playing heavy defensively where they're going to spread out wider, try to create an offensive chance. If it's not there, they're not too worried about it being there. They're just trying to keep the defense rolling.
Good defensive push from Mead as Adler once again trying to strike on Frederick.
Frederick doing a good job screening out the ball and not allowing her to get a shot attempt on.
And once again, playing that thin line.
Louder had a chance there. She's applying the pressure. She would have had a chance there. If she would have got that ball, it would have been nothing but green grass ahead of her.
Agreed. It's sort of what Frederick needs is to just find that open pocket of space where they're not surrounded by defenders, as there was a little bit of a trip up. No call, no nothing.
No, they got it.
They called it. Okay.
They got it.
I was about to say. It's even my eyes without the glasses that I so desperately need could see that, so.
Frederick will set the free kick. Like you were talking about earlier, they got those high, tall defensive backs that will be able to get up and over Frederick's shorter strikers.
Agreed. And
score.
Sometimes it's nice to have that sort of short offense, because then you can slip between the cracks of Mead's defense. But in this case, it's sort of not paying off the way that they wanted it to. It's sort of reversing on them. And Mead's had that double-bladed sword with, as Lettner once again. And Mead, as you mentioned, they tend to aim high in all situations. Right there, a mistake, honestly, from Mead.
Ooh, that one, I think.
Blessed opportunity, though, from
Frederick. Everyone kind of just took I kind of held my breath. I know a lot of Frederick people held their breaths there. That could have been another, pretty much, that might have possibly gotten a chance to put a seal on the game.
With 14 minutes, a little under 14 minutes left.
Frederick still has a chance, but they've got to get the ball in Mead territory.
Which, as you say that, ironically,
they have the lanes. They're just trying to take it precautionless.
And tried to get the edge. Would have been dangerous if Ormsby could make it pay off. But thankfully, Frederick able to stay on par with Mead's athleticism.
But now, once again, I guess it is Frederick ball.
As we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Brian Stapp, dealer principal at Stapp Interstate Toyota. Wanted to thank you very much for visiting our website and supporting our dealership. A little bit about us. My father and grandfather opened up our dealership in 1974 in Longmont, Colorado, right there on Main Street. And now we're located on I-25 in Frederick, Colorado. We moved out here in 2007 and opened up the first Image 2 dealership in the state of Colorado, something we're very proud of. And more than anything, it kind of was a nice little place mark in our dealership's history over the last 46 years about taking the next step and embracing what Colorado is becoming, quite frankly. We're very proud of our history. A couple things that we'd like to point out that I think is very unique in the industry is that we only have one person who will help you if you come in to buy a car. And it's not because we don't have multiple people say hello, they all will. But we think that the relationship is far more important than anything else. Transactions don't allow businesses to stay in business as long as we have, but relationships truly do. So from the second you walk in, one individual would greet you. They would show you all the vehicles we have to offer. They'd present your numbers to you, help you find creative solutions to get the car that you want at a price you're comfortable with. They'd also talk about extra options such as extended service contracts or prepaid maintenance and things that you'd like to put in your monthly payment that would make it a little bit easier so you're not surprised throughout the ownership process. They'd go over all your accessories, all of your vehicle presentation, and they'd be the same person who would shake your hand as you go out the door. So again, that relationship is incredibly important to us. So when you're in, make sure and ask for myself. I'd love to say hello. My brother Clint, my dad Art, my mom Debbie pops around from time to time as well too. So it really is a family business. We'd love to have you become part of our family. Thank you.
Andy Fairbanks, School Resource Officer here at Frederick High.
I'm Mrs. Ago, your new assistant principal.
And you're watching the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Go Eagles!
Go Eagles!
Woo!
Welcome in, everybody, or welcome back in, rather, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I'm Carly Evans. Alongside here with me is Ian MacHendre. Ian, we didn't miss much of the action. No goals took place while we were in that ad break, unfortunately. Apologies for missing some of the action. But Lettner, once again, with miraculous saves, so no surprise there.
You know, Frederick right now, dangerous spot, 10:35 to go. They can't afford to not have the ball in their attacking opportunities. They need scoring chances, and scoring chances need to be presented for them.
Agreed. As Frederick trying to capitalize with some of these open pockets of players.
The lanes, everything is open. They just can't seem to, if the pass is there, it's either too far in front or not enough to get to the player, which right now is not what Frederick can afford.
As couldn't have said it better, Mead once again with possession, dangerous starting place with under 10 minutes now to go.
Frederick right now maybe have a chance to pitch a last-ditch effort to maybe try to net something here.
Yeah, last-ditch effort for sure is something that they might have to look at. As Boatman getting hightailed by, looks like Louder.
Right now it's kind of just a game of inches. If you're there 1 second earlier, 1 split second earlier, you're making a play on that ball. Frederick has another scoring chance. They just need to see the lanes that they're getting presented, make a push on the ball, and apply some pressure, make Mead make the mistake, and then continue.
Agreed, as Jostein gets sandwiched.
Seems as, you know, Frederick's communication has kind of fallen apart just a little bit.
It has. We mentioned after their singular goal that they scored, and a powerful one at that, there seemed to be a liveliness in how they were playing, and now it's just sort of died back down to how it was the first half. And they really got to step it up to where they had it after they scored that goal. No matter if you're trailing, that should probably give you more of a competitive nature, because now you're trying to catch up in this rival game.
It's just the mindset of all the different players right now of, you know, they want to be the ones to score. They want to be the one to create an opportunity. And, you know, it's just all it takes is 1 split second to just look up and survey the field, and they might have a way to score.
As,
Beautiful
thank
ball.
goodness for Lettner. Lettner has, I think, rescued this game, saved it from being a beatdown.
But will it
and
be?
The goalpost.
That too.
We can attribute some of that to the goalpost as Bowman heaves it in.
But like you said, she's been kind of the saving grace for Frederick, but, you know, will it be enough? Because you're down 1. Can they find a way to score or find a way? You know, the frustration is going to start settling into Frederick here.
It is imminently. I think it already sort of, if you look at it. Trailing by 1, sort of a big difference in a game that's been oh so close this whole time. So 7 minutes. 7 minutes that can decide whether or not they go home with a win or a loss. Hopefully a win against the rivals.
Or a tie.
Or a tie. You
That
never
too.
know.
I think right now.
They're praying, I'm sure, for
to
not get a tie.
I think Frederick's not really looking to try to win the game right now. They're trying to just get the equalizer, tie it back up, and end this game either in a tie, because then I don't know if the points is quite the same as, you know, like the Premier League and all those kind of points. You still get points if you tie. It's not as many as you would get with a win, but
you still get something
you
back.
get still something in return. But, you know, you got to get the ball out of your own end and push it down the field if you want to, you know, create the chance to just tie the game.
As Lettner almost lost control. And Deadly, that would have been thankfully able to keep the ball in her hands, as she will.
Boot it away. Final about 6 minutes.
Frederick. This is interesting.
They're stumbling around.
They are.
They're kind of just, at this point, they're kind of just trying to.
They're playing a little bit of keep away, I think, with Mead. Can't let them get anywhere near the ball. But that sort of leads them right to the ball, so should probably be quiet.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's definitely, if it does, you know, end in a loss in Frederick, you know, it's definitely going to put you down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially rivalry game.
Yep, and then starting 1-1 on the season. Not a great look, although we can keep our chins up. Still 5 minutes and 14 seconds left. Plenty of time to make something happen, but we haven't seen much effort to get down the field, so really got to step it up if they want any chance.
Frederick wants to win. They're going to have to put in the effort, like, now.
Put in the work and put in the hours, and we must take what's ours.
Well, Dwayne the Rock there. Ooh, that's Mead.
Narrow miss. That was harrowingly close to becoming 3-1. So,
you know,
Mead, they want it just as bad, if not even more so. They are hungrily trying to score, because I think at that point that would put the game away. Under 5 minutes, and to score again for Mead, that would put the game away. As I jinxed it. This is the worst jinx I think I've ever called. Mead, I think that might be the sealer of the game.
Dagger.
And I think Mead knows that. The whole team just erupted in cheers, as now leading 3-1, 4.5 minutes left. This game is pretty much, I mean, they sealed the deal with that. Although we can stay positive for Frederick's sake, there isn't much they can do now unless they absolutely...
2 quick goals? Chance?
I was about to say, use the Red Bull from earlier. Use the wings.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Mead fighting a perfect ball in. Great corner, right into the box. Perfectly placed. Great header. Like we said, they're good at using their head. They're finding ways to utilize not just their legs.
Agreed.
And they're just making things happen. And as we see right there,
fast chase down. And I think that'll
roll
on out. Are you ready to shape your community's destiny? Get involved with local government by serving on the Town of Frederick Youth Commission. If you are in grades 8 through 12 and live in the Carbon Valley area, you can join the team and make a difference. Get ready to advise town leaders, lead programs, collaborate on events, and be the voice of your generation. Apply at frederickco.gov/FYC. One more quick shout out, Zadell Realty. Good old Greg Zadell. If you are looking to buy or sell a home, Greg Zadell at Zadell Realty is your community-centered go-to person, as once again Lettner with a beautiful save. Greg is a local realtor and broker who has been selling homes in the Carbon Valley area since 1980. He's an active supporter of our community, FHS, and a proud partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. If you need a realtor with deep knowledge of the market, Greg Zadell is a great choice. Watch for his monthly real estate article in the Consumer Report or email him at greg@zadellrealty.com. Greg Zadell and Zadell Realty, your community-centered realtor. As 3 minutes, little under 3 minutes, and what a shot! Once again, narrowly escaping the jaws of death with that, as that probably should have been another Mead goal. But our good old friend Goalpost, he's now saved
That's
3. He is 3. I think he's the star of the show. Stealing the spotlight.
Like you said, little under 3 minutes left. Frederick, still got faith, but it's looking to be a tough loss. Gonna head home. But I mean, you gotta work off this loss and create chances. Stay net another one.
Once again, is exactly what we didn't want. And they are pretty much proving their win at this point.
Kind of just putting salt in the wound now.
They are. This is rubbing a little bit in their face.
But I mean, that's how it's gonna be. The rivalry game, that's how it's gonna be. So I think with less than 2:20 to go, the Mead Mavericks are gonna complete the sweep against Frederick Soccer, taking both a win at home and a win in Frederick.
Agreed. As right now, Frederick, I'm sure they're going to try and claw their way back within a goal or two somehow, but with 2 minutes, there's not much you can do in this situation, as Mead's opener proved successful.
You know, Mead, they are a tough team to beat. Their boys team, I think they might have made the playoffs not 100% on that, but you know, if this Mead girls team's anything like their boys team, they could see a successful season ahead of them. But for Frederick, only 2 games in, 1-1 record, lot of time to work off this loss and keep compiling, go back home and, you know, work on to the next one.
Agreed.
Mead still finding ways to push it down in Frederick's territory.
As they are proving relentless even up until the last few seconds of this game.
I mean, they're playing until the final whistle, which is great to see as we approach the final minute of play. Frederick 4, or Mead 4, Frederick 1.
As 40 seconds left in this game.
Kind of a heartbreaker for
It
Frederick.
kind of is. I mean, it was close all up until it's very similar to the baseball game from Saturday's broadcast, of where it was all knotted up 1-1, and then all of a sudden it was like I don't even know what happened.
Coming.
It was awful, and
yeah,
it just sort of went downhill from there, as 15 seconds will tick by here shortly.
But like you said it perfectly, you know, Mead goes up 1-0 early with about 5 seconds into the game, and then Frederick finally found a way to get back in the game around the 27th minute. And then at that moment, Mead started to be relentless, and 3 unanswered. As Frederick will fall to 1-1, Mead will go to 1-0 on the year.
So a pretty good opener, I would say.
Oh, definitely.
For Mead, a good way to beat out your rivals,
I mean,
unfortunately,
at
for the Golden
least
Eagles.
Frederick didn't get shut out.
No.
Last time they played Mead, it was 4-0. This time 4-1. So we're making progress.
There's progress in the making, as we are going to pop down to the sideline. Jackson?
I will put it in the nearest trash.
You know, tough loss out here. Well, we're still 1-1 in the season, still a long season to go. You know, we had the equalizer halfway into the second half, but we just lost it coming in the end. But we'll work on that, and we'll just come back next game ready to fight and get another win to advance to 2-1. Thank you, setting it back up to y'all.
Thank you so much for that hit, Jackson. As tonight's broadcast of girls soccer at Mead has been brought to you by a talented group of students here on GEBN, the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I've been Carly Evans alongside Ian MacHendre. Our director is Chloe Gould. Our camera operators are Micah Sagapolete and Jackson Gibbs. Our producer down on the sideline is Justin Pankoff. The third member of our team down on the sideline is Jackson Gibbs. Mr. Marsing and Mr. Klimper are GEBN's advisors. We are so excited about the spring season ahead of us. We've got so much to broadcast for you. Be sure you're following us. You're following us over on FHS GEBN on X and Instagram for all the news and updates. Until next time, for everyone at FHS, I'm Carly Evans, and you've been watching the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.